welcome. We're trying to get cameras set up because we're going to be videotaping the panel discussion portion of this meeting, and it's going to be centered around, just community health and wellness and impact, things that we can do as a community together to push our agenda of Black sustainability, self-sufficiency, and self-reliance, as Marcus Garvey tells us and our other ancestors, and also current living warriors who are fighting on our behalf and have been for 30, 40, 50, 60 years. So on my way over here, I asked the ancestors to be with me and sit with us today so that we can have this discussion and actually have an impact that's I guess, long-lasting. And I ask that we can impact the youth and this community right around here, our own homes, and Baltimore, Washington, D.C., and eventually the world as a whole, because it starts like anything, like, it's a germination period, like a plant, right? We gotta plant them seeds, start somewhere. Every time you meet somebody new, you're almost starting over, saying, hey, this is what we do. Can you come on board and help us do this, right? They might think it's a different way to do it, but we have to get to the point of being able to agree on what that path forward looks like and do it together, because otherwise we're all going in different directions. So that's really the goal of what I would like to see from this meeting. Basically, the panel, once we do that portion, we have 4 panelists that are going to answer questions in 9 categories. Also, thank you to TNAP and everyone here for letting us use this space today. We'll give them a round of applause. Yeah. 2 years ago, we did our very first event as a chapter at this location. So I was looking at pictures and, that just remembering what we did that day, and it was a very good, pleasant, and feel-good event, right? So we want to kind of amplify that moving forward, and and build on that. So I think right now we'll have Brother Everett come up, our division president, and go through the beginning portion of the meeting agenda, because we have some meeting stuff to cover today. And once we get done with that, then we'll go into the panel portion.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Just wanted to go over a couple of things. Old news. We passed out.
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Thank you. We passed out our credit union surveys. For those that don't know, we'll be starting a credit union soon. So it's very important that you guys, fill it out. Let us know what you think about the name, how we should move, what cities we should start in. We had our African Legion meeting last Friday. So we're going to be looking real fresh for the Marcus Garvey Parade. We have some flyers for the parade and festival out there for those that could attend. Some new news. August the 5th, here, the new restaurant TNAT has started, Diaspora Soul Jamaican and American Cuisine. We want to support them, okay? So August 5th, we all can come out, show them some love, get some grub. Like I say, we always want to make sure we patronize people in our community. I talked about the Marcus Garvey Parade. We got a few events. August is our busiest month. So I mentioned August 5th. August 6th is my birthday, so I'm definitely not doing anything too much next weekend. Marcus Garvey Festival is August 19th. August the 12th, we will be in Hagerstown for a community event. August 13th, the next day, we'll be doing the Morris Ancient Forefathers Day event. And then August 21st to August 28th is the UNIA convention. Please keep our technical chair, Brother Cam, in our prayers. His little brother was murdered a couple of weeks ago. So that's why we're here to talk about how we can help the community with the crime. We're going to be sending them something this week, and just keep our brother in our prayers. He lives in South Carolina, and hopefully we can get him up here to Baltimore for the Garvey Festival. Our UNIA convention is in Curacao, so that's going to be nice. It's not too late to go, but it's very expensive and you need a passport. But get with me if you'd like to go. Last couple of things, we are looking in the first couple of weeks of September to have CPR training for the youth. So it's going to be from ages 5 to 17. Emergency breathing and stuff like that. It's going to be official. We're asking for 12 kids for a $30 donation. They get an actual card, but if the kids or the parents don't have it, just let me know right away. The first 12 kids get in, but we can take more. And we're looking for a location. It may be here, but it's probably going to be at the Harlem Theater. And we have our RBG Gala coming up. We're looking at 2 locations, the Harlem Theater, but it's probably going to be at the Downtown Cultural Arts Center. So we'll be talking about that as well. Last thing, we have a brother, black-owned company, and he wanted me to, the name of the company is Great Intelligence, and he wanted me to pass out 2 free shirts. So if anybody wears a 2 or 3X, Brother George, my fault for throwing. Anybody else?
I get it to my brother.
That'll work. And I'm out you guys' way. Thank you.
Thank you, Prince. All right, so, oh yeah, let's do the pledge. I have you lead the pledge. But instead of repeat back and forth, we'll just do it all together.
Okay, that's cool. Do I need to finish?
Yeah. Everybody stand up. We're going to do our pledge.
Where's your first?
All members.
All right, for those that don't know, our pledge is to our flag, the red, black, and green, which symbolizes black people unifying in the community and coming together globally. So if you can repeat after me. I commit my body, mind, and spirit.
I commit my body, mind, and spirit
to the protection, defense, and security
to the protection, defense, and security
of the red, the black, and the green.
of the red, the black, and the green.
I dedicate my life
I dedicate my life
to the redemption of Mother Africa
to the redemption of Africa
and to the liberation of our scattered black children.
and to the liberation of scattered black children.
I accept for myself and my descendants
I accept for myself and my descendants
the teachings of universal
the teachings of universal
African nationalism.
African nationalism.
And I promise that our children will be instilled
And I promise that our children will be
with the purpose and knowledge of themselves
with their purpose and knowledge of themselves
as African people,
as African people,
in order that the cause of our struggle
in order that the cause of our struggle
will neither falter nor fail
nor neither falter nor fail,
until all black people are free and united
until all black people are free and united
through one God,
through one God,
one aim,
one aim,
and one destiny.
and one destiny.
Race first, family.
Race first.
All right, and back to you, Brother Frank.
You know, without any further ado, we're going to get into the first category, which is entertainment. So this category is kind of, I think, very pervasive, and what Dr. Neely Fuller says, and remember this book was written, I think, in the 70s. So, you know, some of the questions might have things like this, talks about magazines. We don't have so many more magazines, but, you know, we have social media now. So his topic says, under entertainment, our music, movies, and magazines, and I added social media, are filled with negativity, destruction, and ignorance. So that's the topic. The question is, do you think entertainment has a negative effect on the actions of our youth? And what are some things we can do to stop the negativity of the entertainment industry?
I will say that it's important for Africans to understand balance. Because as a child born in 1977, my 3 brothers and I played Mortal Kombat, Street Fighters, Contra, up, down, left, right, VA Select Start, Alter Beast. We had the concrete basement, break dancing, knocking each other out. Everybody thought we was doing Bruce Lee. The difference is that our parents forced us, when we came home from our predominantly black Richmond public schools, We had to watch Tony Brown's Journal. We had to watch BET News back when there was actually news. We had to actually read books before the internet existed. My brothers and I watched Rap City, Yo MTV Raps, Goat Rakim. I got a whole bunch of Goat Rakim shirts that I wear all the time. I use hip hop in when I teach classes. So, as Africans, we need to stop wasting time blaming outsiders. Terrorists will keep doing 5 centuries of terrorism. And they love it when we waste time blaming them. Now it's about going back to understanding what it means to have balance. What it means to self-reflect on the balance. And an example we can think about, Wu-Tang Clan did cash rules everything around me. Cream get the money, dollar bill gone. And in the track, Raekwon said, I speak the truth to the young black youth. So how you gonna have a positive phrase in a song that's about cream? That's an example of 50 years of hip hop having negativity in the midst of some positivity. That's what Africans have to have, because terrorists will always be terrorists. We need to stop wasting time staring at them.
I would say you have to consider everything. And I think that's part of the balance that Dr. Newell speaks about. But not get stuck looking at one thing, right? I think that everything can be used for positive or negative. It just happens to be that it's a truth that media is being used against us. There's also a truth that people are using media for us. There tends to be a lot more money and more benefit for the few when it impacts the majority negatively. So I think that we have to consider the media, we have to consider even outsiders, quote unquote, and what they're doing, but not get stuck. So, yeah, I mean, I forgot the question, but I absolutely think that's something that we have to take in consideration, and I think that might be what you meant.
So how, how do we stop the negativity? I think that's the point of the question.
To kind of veg you back on what Dr. Newell said, I think that there will always be someone, some group, some people that's always going to attempt to do that. Now, the negativity is to acknowledge it but not get caught up there where you become reactionary and stop building. So I think that we have to counterbalance the negativity in a way, right? I think we have to socialize our children. We have to re-socialize ourselves. That's the reality. Because many times what happens is we're trying to socialize our children to be the people that we are not. So we have to do the work ourselves, and once we see the work that we do, it'll naturally become a part of the culture. So we have to rewire and reform and refashion our culture.
AI. I'm going to say AI is the first issue. Because without AI, they can't hear. Artificial intelligence, their cell phones. And I know if you have children, you gave them one. You gave it to them. You gave them the weapon that's killing them. So the music is driving them to do these things because it's what they're hearing, and you're allowing them to listen to it. I said it starts in your home. The culture that you have in your home reflects outside. So I have a 14-year-old. She doesn't have a cell phone. Oh, I get pushed back. But I know she'll be able to spell. I know she'll be able to comprehend things because I'm not allowing AI to direct her path. I'm directing her path. So the reason why we have the music is because it's been allowed. It's because we can stop it, but y'all choose not to because I'm not sure what the busy is. But if you're so busy that you don't know what your children are doing, and now it's become a problem. See, we always trying to talk about it. We don't do the maintenance before. We always talk about it when it becomes an issue. It's been going on. I'm 55, and the music industry has gone down just like church music. They're going commercial. Everybody's trying to get that dollar. So it's all about the money. They don't care about who it's affecting.
The question is, don't like entertainment?
The topic is entertainment, and when the question is, entertainment has a negative effect on our youth, and what are some things we can do to stop the negativity of the entertainment industry?
Well, one of the things is that change the narrative. When we think of the entertainment industry, they can only do so much. They can portray us a certain way. They can tell the story a certain way, but it is up to us to change the narrative on actually how we live in our own communities. And so, because they portray us selling drugs or exploiting and ostracizing our people or women, we don't have to act that way. We can change that narrative. And also, we must deal with accountability. We must be held accountable for our own actions. No one forces us to do anything. We do things because we want to do it, regardless of how entertainment may write the script, but we always don't have to act out the script. So I think that we change the negativity of entertainment in our community by changing the narrative or rewriting the narrative and being held accountable.
Okay, thank you. So I think we all had similar answers, and we got some really good points. Balance, don't get stuck and re-socialize, change the culture in your home and change the narrative. So, I think those are some very good points. Our education system in Baltimore is bad.
Yep.
And why are we not fighting to change it for the better? You can start.
It's an individual fight, I would say. I would say I fight for my daughter's education. I make sure I'm in position. I'm in the school. I'm talking to the principals, the teachers. I'm on that class dojo. I'm seeing exactly what she's doing, what she's turning in. I'm at the door when you come home. Where is it at? Let's get it started. Right now I'm teaching her Spanish because I know when she goes to 9th grade at City Neighbor School, that's going to be one of her classes. So right now, you come in my house, you see Spanish words everywhere because I want her to be prepared. So again, it starts in your home. It starts in your home, and when you know, and it starts in your community, and if you're showing up at the school meetings, and they do have them, and I've been there, and there may be 1 or 2 parents show up, and yet they're complaining about what's not taking place at the school. Why aren't they getting the money that's needed? And yet we have let's say 50% of our students are having an IEP or IDP plan. They're saying they have a problem mentally, ADHD, or there's something going on. And it's not that. We don't have what we need. And it's because we don't fight for it. And again, it starts in the home. If you see that you're doing what you're supposed to do on your end, and they're not doing it, then you have something. You got something to work with. But right now, you don't know what's going on with your child. And if you do, you're on point. If you don't, then that's why we have a problem.
So you still got 40 seconds left. Is it the parents' fault?
I'm going to say cultural conditioning, period. We've been culturally conditioned to just let it go. And as I say, go to the association meetings. If they don't hear from us, they think that we're okay with everything. So that's why you need to make noise, and you make noise by yourself. And it doesn't matter. You don't need a group of anybody. You just need to know you champion for yourself and your children, your community, then it trickles over to your city, and so on and so forth.
When I think about education, you said, why are we not fighting on it? And I think it even ties back into the entertainment or the messaging that we receive in general, right? Or media, let's say that. I think we are fighting. I know we're fighting. But why don't we fight, or as much as we think we should fight, or what have you? I think we have to really look at the oppressiveness of this particular society. We really do. And I think I have to really look at I think we have to do it as a group. We have to do it collectively. Because if we don't do it collectively, what happens is it almost comes across as I'm just fighting for mine. There was another thing that I really wanted to touch on, but when people have been so oppressed and so much trauma, we become apathetic, we become hurt, we become stuck, we become just complacent. It was another question, but I can't get the question. But nonetheless, I think we have to do it as a group, and we are fighting. That's what I will say. We are fighting the best way we can at the moment that we're fighting the fight. But I think that panels like these and more education is needed as far as just, you know, it's just a societal issue, and it's going to take a lot of work.
Well, like I said when I introduced myself, I specialize in curriculum. So I've been a professor for 20 years. I created an academic program and operated it for 9 years. And I don't do panel discussions about this. I actually do get work done workshops. I no longer waste time. A lot of my students are actually teachers. And I spent years training superintendents and school decision makers. And they care about their job and not about us. And when I say they, I'm talking about Black school decision makers. And Black politicians are the same. So that's why I specialize in doing actual sessions with Black communities. I want Black people to stop paying attention to CNN, MSNBC, they're the same as Fox News. Stop paying attention to social media, hashtags. Stop paying attention to banned books and the announcements of what's being taught in history classes. It's 5 centuries of the same thing. Stop being shocked. Outsiders want you to be shocked by every new announcement. There's nothing stopping you from reading, learning, coming into schools, having read these books in our families, in our communities. The problem is that we are the only collective around the world who is trusting and relying on politicians, police, and the decision makers without going into these settings saying, you know what, I already have the resources. I don't give a damn if you ban this book. I've read it already. That's right. I don't give a damn how you're teaching Black history because I'm learning it, not based on even false depictions of Africa. We're hundreds of thousands of years of African collectives and cultures that existed before the continent existed, that existed before they were forced into nations. Arab Muslim colonizers, then 5 centuries of European colonizers. Guess what? Africans are not a perfect collective either. They twerked, they shaked their ass, they talked about sex, they talked about a whole bunch of stuff too. That's what it means to have a balanced and realistic collective. And that's what we have to teach our people and stop expecting outsiders to teach it. So this is what I specialize in teaching our people to do, because it doesn't matter how many school board meetings you go to. Outsiders want you to come to school board meetings screaming. They want you to march down the streets. They specialize in preparing for you to do all of that because they know your butt is not in a real workshop where Black folks are writing change-making work for our own people because you're busy yelling at them.
Such a loaded question. When we think of education, as the sister said, it starts in the home. And I've always lived by this, my people perish for there's a lack of knowledge. There is no knowledge in the home first. If there is no knowledge in the home, basically knowledge of how important education is. Education is important because it can change your life. It can change your life, and it can change your situation, it can change your surroundings, it can change your community. When we look at our communities today in Baltimore community, we look at how desolate it is, and the reason why there's desolate is because of a lack of education, but also a lack of foundation in the home. You know, our homes don't have any foundation there, a foundation of knowledge. When I grew up, and we're going to get to it, you know, we had knowledge of faith, we had educational knowledge, and then we had self-awareness knowledge. These concepts are not being taught in the home today. And as a result of it, you're seeing a depleted, a desolate community today. A community yet exists, but dying. A community with no hope. A community that needs to be revived. And so, you know, education definitely has to start at home first. Then it can flourish into the school.
Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and then Marcus Garvey, Patrice Lumumba, and all these great people who tried to bring liberation and freedom to Africans. They did not start by running around or trying to cause trouble. Some people started it like that, but they shut them down. Because, like the music part, right now the radio stations are getting redundant. Social media has taken over. Facebook, Instagram, and all this. People don't go to radio stations no more. I have a radio station, virtual radio station, that I broadcast to Ghana, and I'm on airway. So I do my program in airway to reach my people in politics, social life, education, and all that. So I think we should be looking for the avenue to target the weaker links and then the real problem, because the politicians are there to shut down what will bring liberation, liberty, freedom to the people.
So tell me what's one of the weaker links.
I think the problem that I found in the black community here is the youth. The youth are not being reached enough. Because I work at Hopkins. I see these young girls, like 16, 15, 17, 18, they come in to work with EBS. And I look at them sometimes, I say, hey, why won't you go to school? They give all kinds of excuses. I say, okay, why won't you go to bed management? And when you go to bed management, you can learn something from the bed, how to do that. Or you go to transportation, or you go to phlebotomy, and then they say, oh, I don't have money. I help people, I help some of them, and then they come out, and then I see them, they change their clothes from blue to purple, and I'm like, wow, hey, I'll come and take you for lunch. Then we go to lunch, I say, hey, why won't you go from purple to maybe the tan? And then I see them, I see things. So I think we should be targeting the youth to encourage them. And then to finish this, what is the market value now in education? You do, how do you call it, archaeology? Where are you going to be digging? What are you looking for under the earth? It's now IT.
Yep.
So why can't we encourage them and build IT hub? I am building an IT hub in Ghana. The IT hub can bring a lot of jobs. You can be here and be working in China, India, anywhere.
So that's a good...